Welcome to this explainer. Today we're doing something really exciting. We're journeying back, I'm talking 230 million years back, to one of the most magnificent and just absolutely dominant eras in our planet's history. Yep, we're talking about the age of the dinosaurs.
I mean, just imagine a world where the apex creatures roaming around were literally as tall as modern skyscrapers, and yet they shared that exact same ecosystem with species no larger than a standard chicken. It's almost hard to wrap your head around, but this was the incredible reality of Earth's ancient past. So let's travel back in time.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Welcome to the Mesozoic. We've just arrived on a much warmer, very different ancient Earth.
Now obviously, humans didn't exist yet, so you might be wondering how we know all this. Well, our entire understanding of this world comes from paleontologists. These scientists are essentially prehistoric detectives. They piece together the past by studying fossils, ancient bones, footprints, and eggs that have been perfectly preserved in the rock right beneath our feet.
And where exactly did these giant reptiles roam? Well, everywhere. Back then, the continents weren't separated by the vast oceans we see on a map today. They were actually connected into one huge single supercontinent called Pangaea. So dinosaurs lived all over this massive unified landmass. They were walking through dense forests, hot jungles, flowing rivers, towering mountains, and even thick swamps.
Section 2. Plant eaters versus meat eaters.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the inhabitants of Pangaea were largely divided by, well, what they ate for dinner. On one side, we have the herbivores. These were your plant eaters, using their flat teeth to gently graze on leaves, grass, ferns, and branches. But on the other side were the carnivores. These were heavily armed hunters, equipped with razor-sharp teeth, incredibly strong jaws, and powerful claws designed to prey on other dinosaurs or fish.
So looking at how they shake out here, among the gentle herbivores you had absolute giants. We're talking the towering Brachiosaurus, the three-horned Triceratops, the Stegosaurus, the Brontosaurus, and the heavily armored Ankylosaurus. But sharing that exact same terrain were the legendary carnivores, right? The apex predators, like the Tyrannosaurus rex, the lightning-fast Velociraptor, and the truly enormous Spinosaurus.
Moving right along to Section 3, Shapes, Sizes, and Survival.
100 feet, or 30 meters. That is the staggering length a massive Argentinosaurus could reach. I mean, think about that. That's longer than a full basketball court. And yet, darting around the feet of these house-sized behemoths were species literally no larger than a modern-day pigeon.
Surviving in a world full of massive meat-eaters sparked what was basically an ancient evolutionary arms race. Herbivores had to develop extreme defenses to stay alive. The Triceratops wielded 3 piercing horns. The Ankylosaurus basically evolved into a living tank with hard body armor and a heavy clubbed tail, and the Stegosaurus had those sharp tail spikes. In response, predators had to adapt. Velociraptors relied on blinding speed, while the T-Rex utilized a devastatingly powerful bite.
So this brings up a fun question I want to ask you. Take a second and guess. Could dinosaurs fly? Well, get ready for a surprising mythbuster. Actually, most dinosaurs could not fly at all. Now, you might immediately be picturing the famous pteranodon soaring through the sky with its huge wings. But technically, the pteranodon was a flying reptile, not a dinosaur. I know, it lived during the exact same age and shared the exact same sky, but it belonged to a completely different scientific family. It's a brilliant reminder that just because something was prehistoric doesn't automatically make it a dinosaur.
Okay, that brings us to another classic mystery. How did these towering giants actually bring babies into the world? Did they lay eggs?
Yes, they absolutely did. It's kind of mind-boggling to think that a colossal animal, taller than a building, started its entire life hatching from a simple egg. Scientists have discovered actual dinosaur nests and fossilized eggs all over the world. It's a direct connection showing how they reproduced just like many of the birds and reptiles that we see around us today.
Section 4. The Great Extinction Event.
66 million years ago, a colossal asteroid struck the Earth, and it triggered an unimaginable chain reaction. First, the impact ignited giant global firestorms. That sent thick clouds of dust up into the atmosphere, which completely blotted out the sky. Without sunlight, the plants withered and died. The herbivores quickly lost their food source, and without the herbivores, the carnivores starved. It essentially collapsed the entire global food web, leading to the sudden extinction of most dinosaurs.
Section 5. Dinosaur Legacy and Fun Facts.
Let's lighten things up with some incredible trivia. 60.
That is the number of serrated, bone-crushing teeth a single Tyrannosaurus rex had packed into its jaws to deliver its terrifying bite.
And here's something that busts some big pop culture myths. Those terrifying velociraptors you see in all the famous Hollywood movies, yeah, they were actually much smaller than they look on the big screen. Oh, and to add a little flair to the prehistoric runway, scientists now know that some dinosaurs even rocked colorful feathers.
Okay, this one is one of my absolute favorites. One walnut. That was the actual size of a mighty Stegosaurus's brain. So despite being this enormous creature, armed with terrifying tail spikes and these huge protective plates on its back, it was operating on a remarkably tiny brain. Truly a classic case of brawn over brains.
But remember that devastating asteroid we talked about? Well, a small group of feathered dinosaurs actually survived that apocalyptic event. Over millions of years, they adapted and they evolved. And what this means is that the dinosaurs never entirely vanished. Their direct descendants are modern birds, literally flying in our skies today.
So the next time you look outside, I want you to ask yourself, what ancient prehistoric secrets are hiding in the birds right outside your window? Thank you so much for exploring with me today. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you on our next explainer.